inspires students. She also challenges them to grow and encourages success in the classroom and beyond. Please congratulate the 2015-2016 Inspirational Teacher, Miss Julie Ann Villa.
Let's see if I can get this set up a little bit. As a teacher, I'm used to being very loud without a microphone, so we'll see if we can get this going. So, my name is Julie Ann Villa, and I want to say thank you to Jamie for introducing me. And I'm honored to be your most inspirational teacher this evening. Thank you, students, for the nomination. It's been great to spend this evening with you and see your faces, because many of you are seniors and no longer in my classroom. Don't worry, I'm not going to teach you any chemistry tonight. I'm not going to make you do any research. I won't be speaking about electron orbitals or complex data analysis. Instead, I will be telling you a little bit about my path, to becoming a teacher. Being a scientist is very much how I define myself. It is how I relate to the world. It is my true passion. I love learning alongside of you each and every day. I am excited for every lesson, every moment in the classroom, and the opportunity to learn new things. Being a science teacher is not merely my job. It is my calling. It is very much who I am, as you can see by the tears that I don't normally express in the classroom, which I knew were going to come. It's very meaningful to me that you will go on to be scientists, engineers, community leaders, business owners, and pharmacists. Never before have I had the full realization of this than this past January. In January, I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, which is bone cancer. So I had a small bump on my jaw and received the diagnosis shortly thereafter. This came as a second cancer for me. So in 2010, I also beat colon cancer. So today I'm 100% cancer-free. We decided that I was going to teach while going through treatment. So every 3 weeks after receiving 5 days of chemotherapy, I would come back to my classroom. It was very important to me that my students didn't lose out. It also was incredibly helpful to me that I was able to be something other than a patient for a big part of my day. I welcome the distraction. I very much look forward to it. That decision to keep teaching after diagnosis meant an incredible amount to me to be able to keep working each day. One of the most touching moments that I had is represented up here by this Relay for Life t-shirt. It was gifted to me during this time. I had been a long-time cancer advocate for research and fundraising, but never did I imagine that I would see my shirt on one of these, or my name on one of these shirts. There also was a photo up here of me running. It was taken about a month ago. And there's several things about this that you may not realize. One is through a loophole in the Illinois education system. I never took gym in high school, which is incredible considering that my dad was a 30-year high school PE teacher. Also, I took a bunch of calculus, I was in marching band, but never a single class. The other thing about this photo is that I'm missing my fibula. So for those of you that never took anatomy, that's the small bone on the outside of my left leg. So my new hashtag is no fibula, no problem. Find me on Facebook. But if you had asked me in high school if I would ever become an endurance athlete, I would have said no way, not in a million years. If you'd asked me this past April if I would ever run again, I would have said I hope so, but in my mind, there definitely would have been a question mark. So this brings me to another story that's in the middle here, or a photo that's in the middle here. When I first started teaching, I taught in the city of Chicago, and so I very much encounter many of my former students as I go about my day. In April, when I was in for treatment, I encountered a young woman who came into my room. I had been transferred after being in the ICU, and she said to me, "Hi, my name is Tin. I'll be your nurse." And she said, "My name's Tin, like the can." And I looked at her and I said, "Wait a minute, I'm very familiar with that name. I've had students have that name." And she turned around and she paused and she looked at me and she said, "Miss Villa, I think you were my chemistry teacher." So I did not remember her at all, and so I said, "Oh yeah, Tin, I guess you were my student. Yeah, I definitely worked at that high school, so I kind of remember you." And what I came to learn over the rest of the day is that she was a terrible student. She cut class, she didn't do her homework. I know that I gave her a hard time on a regular basis. I don't know for certain, but it is even perhaps true that I failed her. What happened for Tin and what was her path was that at some point she had developed kidney problems. She needed dialysis. She went through several years of that, ultimately needing a kidney transplant. It was in dealing with her own health difficulties that inspired her to go back and become a nurse. She went back to school. She learned all that chemistry that she never learned from me. And so here I was, sitting in a hospital room. By the way, and also as part of my treatment, this part of my face is a titanium plate. It's been custom grafted. It's the highest gold standard of treatment that Northwestern could offer. So I looked very different from when I had seen her in the classroom. Also, the reason that they took my fibula is because in order to finish the bone graft here, that bone has been transplanted into my face. So I'm sorry if I put my foot in my mouth, I kind of can't help that. So what I can tell you is that Tin is an outstanding nurse. She understood both sides, what it was to be a patient and a little bit scared, and she also was able to master the technical side of things. Boy, oh boy, did she learn that chemistry. So what I want you to take from this, students, is that every great person that you see, every successful person, is not perfect. That striving for greatness is not about striving for perfection. Every one of us stumbles. That in daring to be great and going on to those universities and those careers that I heard listed earlier, that you will be on the edge of what's possible in a place that's not easy or smooth. You must be willing to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, and you must embrace the fact that you will most likely stumble. It doesn't matter why you stumble. It can happen for any reason. A major medical diagnosis, a difficult family situation, making a foolish choice, because we all have plenty of those. But it's those moments when you stumble, when you've fallen down, when you're lying on the mat and you feel unsure, and you take a deep breath and you realize that you're going to reconnect with your passion and you're going to rise, that will become part of what will make you great. It's scary, it's uncertain, it's messy, and it requires courage. Learning chemistry that you never failed at, or that you had previously failed at. Dealing with doctors and treatments, running after never taking gym in high school, but you're doing it anyway, and you find a way to keep going. You know, people kept telling me that I was courageous, and I couldn't figure out why. I kept hearing this word, oh, Miss Fia, you're so brave. And I didn't feel like it was coming from me. What I can tell you is that my courage came from all of you. That by following my passion, by becoming a science teacher, it led me to this path of being great. You all helped me to get back up, to teach again, to keep going, to run a mile again, to rise, to be brave and daring. So today, I thank you actually to all of you who've been here with me over the past year, and actually over the past 5, for helping me to be brave, for helping me to find the courage to rise up. Students, I want you to remember to go confidently right up to the edge, to dare to stumble, and when you have those moments of rising, that's when you will become truly great. Those moments where you found a way to be brave, where you find and own your own greatness, no matter how big or how small. When that happens, I'm asking that you come back to Niles West and that you tell us all about it, because I can't wait to hear your story.